Today, we're finally taking a deep dive into a machine that I've been testing for the last several months, the OneLaser XRF. And I know a lot of you folks are waiting to hear all about this. And even though this has been out for a while now, I didn't get the video out at the same time everybody else did because I wanted to do some more advanced testing with it and use it for months before I actually recommended it. Now, if you followed this channel for any length of time, you know that I don't get excited easily. I've tested a lot of lasers over the years: diode lasers, CO2 lasers, fiber lasers, UV lasers, and I guess just about every combination in between. Most machines do some things well. Most machines have compromises, and most machines leave me with a list of things I wish the manufacturer had maybe done differently. But every once in a while, a machine comes along that truly surprises me. The OneLaser XRF is one of those machines. After months of testing, cutting, engraving, pushing it hard, and intentionally trying to find weaknesses, I can honestly say that I have not found a single deal-breaking flaw. In fact, what I've found is a machine that delivers performance normally associated with far more expensive systems, while maintaining a price point that makes it accessible to hobbyists, makers, and small business owners. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the XRF is, why RF technology matters, what features stand out, and why I believe this machine is one of the best values currently available in the desktop laser market. So let's jump into it. What makes the XRF different? The first thing that separates the XRF CO2 lasers is right in the name. RF stands for radio frequency. This machine uses a 38-watt RF metal tube instead of a traditional glass DC tube. Now, if you're new to lasers, that might not sound important, but for those of us who have spent years working with CO2 machines, this is a very big deal. Most people think a CO2 laser is a CO2 laser, but that's kind of like saying every vehicle with four wheels is the same. A bicycle, a pickup truck, a Ferrari, they all have four wheels, but they perform very differently. The same thing applies to laser sources. A traditional glass tube laser is exactly what it sounds like: a long glass tube filled with gas. High voltage is applied to that tube, and that's what creates the laser beam. An RF laser, like the XRF, uses a sealed metal tube and radio frequency energy to excite the gas instead of high voltage DC power used in the glass tube CO2s. Now, what does that mean in the real world? The biggest difference is the beam itself. An RF laser produces a much smaller, finer laser spot size. Think of it like the difference between writing with a Sharpie marker and writing with a fine point pen. The Sharpie works great. You're coloring in large areas, but if you're trying to write tiny letters or draw intricate designs, the fine point pen wins every time. That's why RF lasers are famous for producing sharper photographs, cleaner text, and finer engraving details. The second advantage is speed. An RF laser can pulse much faster than a glass tube. Imagine flipping a light switch on and off thousands of times per second. An RF laser can do that extremely quickly and extremely accurately. That's one reason they can maintain engraving quality even at extremely high speeds. The third advantage is consistency. A glass tube's performance changes as it heats up and as it ages. Over time, the gas mixture degrades and power output slowly drops. An RF laser is sealed, temperature controlled, and much more stable. What it does today is very close to what it's going to do tomorrow, next week, and next year. The fourth advantage is lifespan. Most glass tubes eventually become consumable items. At some point, you'll replace them. RF tubes are designed for industrial environments and often last many times longer before needing service. In the case of the XRF, you'll expect to get about 30,000 hours of service as compared to a glass tube, which most get between 2,000 and 4,000 hours, and that's if you're lucky and depending on the quality. Now, does that mean RF lasers are better at everything? Not necessarily. If your primary goal is cutting thick material, a 100 watt or 130 watt glass tube laser can absolutely outperform a 38 watt RF, simply because it has more raw power. The 38 watt RF has about the same power as a 55 to 60 watt glass tube, but when it comes to engraving quality, photo engraving, fine detail, small text, speed, consistency, and overall user experience, that's where the RF technology really shines. But don't think it can't cut. Let me show you a couple of examples. So here I've got a piece of a tree cookie. I don't know which tree it was from. We cut down a bunch of trees in the yard here. This is 10 millimeter. One of the beauties of the RF laser is that you can take your finger and wipe it along the edge and not get any residue on your finger. It has a beautiful caramelized finish to it. Now let's switch to oak. So this is oak, as you can see, white oak. And this is 12.2 millimeters. And the same thing, I can rub my finger on the edge, not get any residue on it, and it's a nice clean cut. This was cut in one pass. So both of these were cut in one pass. The easiest way to think about this is a glass tube laser is like a powerful paintbrush. An RF laser is like a precision artist's pen. Both can create amazing work, but if your focus is producing the cleanest, sharpest engraving possible, an RF laser gives you a level of precision that's difficult for a traditional glass tube to match. And that's exactly why I was so impressed with the XRF. It delivers the kind of engraving quality I've come to expect from machines that typically cost substantially more. When I started running slots and tabs and cutting on this machine, that smaller RF beam immediately stood out. The kerf was so small, I didn't need to use a kerf offset at all. In fact, I had to hammer the parts together, which is my favorite method of slots and tabs. With a glass tube CO2, I always have to do a kerf offset. And better yet, the caramelizing of the burnt edges have no soot whatsoever. The difference is not subtle. You can see it, and your customers will see it as well. Let's take a look at an example of some slots and tabs. This is some pallet coasters that I made. They fit absolutely perfectly, and I did have to hammer these in. So it took a little more time to put this together, but it won't ever come apart, and I don't have any glue residue anywhere whatsoever. Next, let's talk speed. One thing manufacturers love to advertise is speed. The problem is that many machines quote speeds that you'll never actually use. The XRF is different. Its motion system supports speeds up to 1200 millimeters per second and acceleration up to 3G. And the acceleration is probably the most important thing here. If you look at some of the big name brands, you'll see their acceleration is from 1 to 2G. And that could mean a difference of 30 to 40% in time. Now, what impressed me wasn't the number, It was how usable that speed actually is. Because of the RF tube's ability to pulse rapidly and accurately, you can run higher speeds without sacrificing quality. That means shorter production times, faster turnaround, and more jobs completed in a day. For small business owners, that's money in your pocket. For hobbyists, that's more time creating and, I guess you say, less time waiting. The next thing that impressed me was the overall build quality. This machine feels like a professional machine that somehow got shrunk down to a desktop footprint. The frame is solid. The motion system is smooth. The gantry feels substantial. Nothing rattles. Nothing feels flimsy. Nothing feels like corners were cut anywhere on this machine. And this machine was engineered in California, and it is manufactured by one of the biggest names in lasers. I won't say the name of the factory here, but most of you know it already. In a market where many desktop lasers rely heavily on plastic components, even the fanboy big name, the XRF feels like a machine designed to last. And after months of use, it still feels exactly as solid as it was the day that I unboxed it. You get a generous 600 by 300 millimeter bed that gives you plenty of room for signs, plaques, batch production, cutting projects, and larger engravings. And there is a pass-through option or a riser base add-on, which is perfect for 40-ounce tumblers or larger projects, giving you access to up to 6¼ inches of height. Add on the conveyor feature and you can tackle unlimited length projects. A lot of desktop machines force you to constantly rearrange material or split projects into multiple jobs. The XRF gives you enough space to work comfortably while still maintaining a desktop footprint. It is really a nice balance. So let's talk about autofocus, because once you've used a good autofocus system, it's difficult to go back. The autofocus on the XRF has been reliable and consistent throughout my testing. If you make a mistake and focus in the wrong place, it will not get damaged by hitting the honeycomb like so many others will. You just load the material, position your design, focus, start the job. No feeler gauges, no manual adjustments. It's one of those features you stop thinking about because it simply works. And that's exactly how it should be. The built-in 5-megapixel camera system is another feature I appreciate. The ability to visually position projects directly in Lightburn saves time and reduces mistakes. Once you've used camera positioning effectively, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. Now, I typically use absolute coordinates, so I don't need the camera, but for most users, they do. Now, for many of us, Lightburn is the standard, and the XRF was clearly designed with Lightburn users in mind. Setup is straightforward, operation is familiar, workflow feels natural, everything integrates cleanly. There was no learning curve coming from my existing machines. I was productive and running jobs within 45 minutes of the delivery and the unpackaging. Over the last several months, I've engraved and cut a wide range of materials, from wood to leather, acrylic, MDF, cardboard, cardstock, slate, painted wood, anodized aluminum, and a variety of special materials. This machine has consistently delivered excellent results, particularly on engraving applications where RF technology really shines. Let's take a look at a couple of them here and dispel a few myths. So yes, it does do slate, and it does slate very well. Yes, you can get dark burns. Here's an example. It just depends on your speeds and your powers and running a material test. Now, I would never burn something this dark, but this just gives you an example of how you can get a dark burn. Anodized aluminum does a fantastic job. The letters up here on the bottom, that's 5mm text. Comes out absolutely stunning. Keep in mind that this is a drawing of a motorcycle engine. So the actual drawing itself doesn't have anything that's precise, but if you look at the text over here, you'll see just how well it handles that text. And that's probably the most important thing to me, is fine detail, especially when it comes to things like photographs, fine text, detailed graphics. They're all excellent. The consistency from project to project has been outstanding, and consistency is important. If your business revolves around personalized products, photographs, leather patches, detailed artwork, ornaments, gifts, or precision engraving, RF technology offers a real advantage down to a tiny, tiny little size. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: price. RF lasers have traditionally been expensive, very expensive. For years, if you wanted an RF performance, you had to be prepared to spend some serious money. That's where the XRF completely changes the conversation. I remember just a couple of years ago, you would spend more on the RF tube alone than this entire laser. The value proposition here is incredible. You're getting an RF performance, premium features, autofocus, camera integration, professional build quality, high speed operation, and a large working area at a price that is highly competitive against many other desktop systems. And quite honestly, this is where OneLaser got my attention. Not because it's the cheapest machine, but because it offers so much machine for the money. So after several months of testing, where do I stand? Very simple. I like this machine. Actually, scratch that. I really like this machine. The XRF has exceeded my expectations in nearly every category. The engraving quality is outstanding. The speed is impressive. The build quality is excellent. The feature set and options are comprehensive, and the overall value is difficult to ignore. Could there be a better RF laser on the market? Sure, but you're going to spend considerably more money to get it. For makers, small businesses, side hustlers, and serious hobbyists looking for a desktop RF laser, the XRF deserves a spot at the very top of your consideration list. It's one of the most impressive desktop laser systems I've tested, and it's a machine I have absolutely no problem recommending to my viewers and my friends. If you'd like to learn more about the OneLaser XRF, I'll place links in the description down below. And if you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.